We are now live. Hello, hello, hello. It's your boy Fadlan, aka Ninja T, with obviously the GOAT, Mr. Harding, waiting for Keishan Rig. It is currently 3 minutes past 8 p.m. UK time, Monday, the 12th of February 2024. Welcome to another amazing episode of the game. If you just give me one moment to make sure the YouTube is working, 1 second, my friends. So, of the game, just give me one moment to make. Yes, everything is working. That's absolutely fantastic. So, for those that are unfamiliar with who we are Blockchain Sensei. We are proudly a Black and Asian owned financial literacy and Web3 solutions company. And we host 4 free weekly workshops per week. Starting off with the game, of course, which is our legacy show every Monday, 8 p.m. till half 9 UK time since summer 2020, approaching our 200th episode this summer, covering mainly stocks and crypto macro fundamentals, particularly with a focus on breaking down reports. Wednesdays, we do an in-person event called Create Tech, helping artists and creatives utilize Web3 and AI to monetize on their art. So far, this is only in person in Manchester. So if you've got any friends in Manchester or surrounding cities who want to visit, let us know. NFT Fridays, every Friday, 8 p.m. till half 9, covering digital assets and non-fungible tokens. And of course, Technically Speaking, which covers charts, data, trading, etc., with our homie BitBlonde. To join our free webinars, click the link in the Blockchain Sensei bio. Oh, also, I dropped a video yesterday stating that, well, me and Jay made a big decision to let Manchester residents come to the game NFT Fridays, and Technically Speaking, yes. Abhishek, if you're watching this, please get Mr. Harding a Voice of Crypto t-shirt. Guys, I didn't mean to make you jealous. I apologize. I publicly apologize to my co-founders for making them jealous. That wasn't my intention. We'll take we'll take we'll take this offline after the game. Sorry you had to witness this internal corporate beef. But But yeah, me and Jay are super proud to announce that the secret Manchester location is open to Manchester residents on Mondays, Fridays, and Sundays. So you can actually pull up to the game NFT Fridays and or Technically Speaking in person from 7 p.m. So I think that's very generous of us, and that will not be available forever for sure. Click the link in our bio, superjoy.com/blockchain sensei for everything blockchain sensei, including coming to our free webinars, our free Telegram group, and also to subscribe to the dojo, which is our paid subscription service. Let's get straight to the disclaimer because I know you guys want the juicy information from Mr. Harding. With oh my god, oh, the website's changed, guys. I've, okay, this is absolutely amazing. I am witnessing the changes just as you guys are witnessing also. Very nice. Anyway, you want to do the disclaimer? Okay, Keish, you want to do disclaimer? No, sir. What? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, wait. No, the stream stopped. Wait, I mean, it's not stopped, but I need to reshare the screen. Okay, quick matrix attack. I solved it. Mr. Harding, Messari,
Yo,
part three.
yo. So what I'm gonna do is just whilst I carry on promoting, I want to do this episode a little bit different because I got to the end of it, and the end of it is the best bit because the end of it, he's not even talking about crypto. He's just talking about life, and I think I want to start with that first for whoever's tuned in, so that they get the most valuable alpha. And let you guys start with that whilst I go into the juicier bit. Whoever wants to read the things about life advice. Ninja, I think you might like talking about some of these, and you, Keish. But yeah, let me share screen. I'll share the screen, and then you guys cover this bit.
I think we need some presents from Quiche because they've had a lot of Ninja Tea on Friday and Sunday already.
Okay, go on then. Share. Can I share screen?
Sure, let me know
Oh.
what page it is so I can follow as well, so I can just run through it.
It's the bit where he goes bonus bits.
Page number.
From page number.
Boom, 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 boom.
190.
Yeah. I'm there.
Yeah. So let me know when you can see my screen.
Cool.
So the first bit is about why we must write. So I'll say what the. So can you see my screen, Keish?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just go over the highlighted bits.
Okay, cool. So why we must write? Get busy writing, or school, or as the cool kids call it, prompt engineering. Get ready to become obsolete. We are entering a brave new era of the internet. Okay, so prompt engineering is actually a actual task and actually an actual job role now, which is something that's completely shifted. So if you know how to actually prompt AI accurately to get what you need, that's actually a job role that pays in six figures. So quite interesting, right?
You
No
would imagine
idols.
we were teaching about that like many moons ago.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. So yeah, we were teaching that. There's tons of content out for that. I was teaching private lessons on that. So yeah, no idols. Never become the main
Wait,
character on
guys.
Twitter.
So sorry to interrupt, but don't Jay Johnson, head of artificial intelligence of Blockchain Sensei and Shuriken Sounds. Didn't you do a whole lecture on artificial intelligent prompts that they can watch for free on YouTube?
It's for free on YouTube. Mad.
I did indeed. Big ups to the University of Surrey for inviting me to provide that workshop on artificial intelligence. I aim to provide the most amount of value I could for people of all experiences.
Mad. Drop that in the link in the chat, please. That link to that if it's still on YouTube, so people can watch it
now.
Boom, boom. Carry on, Keish.
Yeah. So no idols. Never become the main character on Twitter. If you want a case study in the perils of high profile of a high profile, just look at the number of crypto billionaires who are now on lam prisons after arresting themselves. Okay, so that's actually mad. That's actually so true. So many people are actually being penalized or are in prison over overextending themselves online. Stay hungry and humble. Stay disciplined. Stay hard. Merry Christmas. So I think Yeah, that's so true. I mean, yeah, a lot of the bigger movers in the space have been speaking out. A bunch of people are following them, and because a bunch of people are following what they say, in turn they have an effect on global crises or different situations that happen. If they promote certain projects and certain things, then automatically off the back of that, they are seen as the ambassadors of that, and then from that alone, then you can see that they get penalized, get put in prison, whatever it may be, based on being the backers of X amount of projects or X projects. So that's very very true. Yeah, be smart, guys. Basically, play
Yep.
smart, keep quiet, keep moving. That's
This
cool.
one
I
I
like
want to
that.
go on to.
Go
So,
ahead.
my guy has put a list of books to read. And one of them is Charlie Munger's Poor Charlie's Almanac. Now, I read this book. Oh, wow.
Uncle Mike.
15 years ago? Like, wait. No, I read it 2010. 2010, what was that? 15 years ago? 14 years ago? Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
This book is what made me understand what the hell a cognitive bias was. Basically, this is just a whole book about thinking. Like, it's just a book that teaches you how to think. And he had to create this book because he realized nobody knows how to think. Everybody knows how to make decisions, but nobody knows how to think. So he created a book on thinking and ways of thinking. And he, if you don't know who Charlie Munger is, he's probably one of the greatest decision makers of all time because he was Warren Buffett's right hand man. I think the results of Berkshire Hathaway might speak louder than anyone's opinions. So I would highly recommend everybody, if there is one book you're going to read or buy this year, even if it takes you the whole year to get through it, reread Poor Charlie's Almanac. In fact, I'm going to reread it this year for my birthday, which is in August, and see how long it takes me to get through it. But yeah, a cognitive bias, if you didn't know what it is, a lot of people in investing suffer from it. Cognitive bias is where you see what you want to see to prove your own ideas. Now, I'm guilty of it, and that's exactly why I work with the team. I'm guilty of the opposite. So, if anything, I'm guilty of cognitive biases to prove why an investment theory isn't right. And then the team helped me go, no, actually, Michael, you're wrong. Perfect example, Solana. My cognitive bias kept showing me things to say Solana was a piece of shit. But guess what the team did? The team helped me realize, no, actually, Michael, you've got cognitive bias and you keep finding evidence and information to tell you that it's rubbish. But you've not been looking at the right information to tell you that it's actually good. So, and in the world that we live in now, you have to bear in mind, whatever you look for, you will find. If you only want to find positive information on a meme token, on a project or whatever, the moment you start looking for it, the algorithm's only going to feed you what you want to read, hear, and see. And the seeing is about to get a lot worse. So, the greatest protection you can give to yourself and your family, in my opinion, is to read Poor Charlie's Almanac and learn about cognitive biases and learn how to think, because the AI in the next year is gonna get hella strong. But yeah, that's that one. Keisha, Ninja, do you want to take the next one?
Salama. The most important productivity hack I can recommend at work is surrounding yourself with good people who are insanely mission driven, relentless, organized, communicative, and poised. I'm lucky to have found good, hardworking people who share my vision for the future and help me bring it into sharper focus each day, while allowing for the fact that there are some things. While allowing for the fact that there are some things I will simply never get better at, regardless of my best efforts.
You know what?
Interesting.
When he said that, I just felt like it was me talking to you guys.
Yeah.
I literally was like, that's actually me. That's actually me. I'm really lucky to be surrounded by people that are insanely mission driven. You guys actually don't actually know, but I always said there's a saying that I heard once before. The worst thing you can ever do as a job is to become a business owner and to try and be a business owner full time. Why? Because it means that you're being hired to work for free by an absolute madman. Now, then you got to think, if you get business partners, they're even more crazy than you because they're crazy enough to believe in the crazy guy. So we are all crazy as hell. And this little phrase here just made me go, you know what? My team is hella crazy, you know? Like, we're just actually mad out here. Like, people just be like, nah, you man are just, I'm not trying to do on a Monday night reading up some Messari report. That's mad. Like, why are you doing that? Like, that is not fun. You're
Still give
actually
up every
tapped in
single
the
Friday
head,
and Sunday
guys.
night, which is crazy.
So yeah, it just made me realize we are actually crazy guys. Like yeah, like compared to the average person, this is not normal behavior.
It's all
Dude,
good, man.
imagine giving up every Monday, Friday, and Sunday night. Like, by the time the weekend comes, I'm tired. I'm like, I'm going to bed. Going to bed. Do you know what I mean?
But it's actually mad. Like when you actually compare that to the normal everyday person, if we were to say to a normal everyday person what we do and the time we dedicate to this, they'd be like, why don't you just do something normal? Why don't you just get a life? Why don't you just ride a bike or something? Why don't you just like, I don't know, go clubbing? Why don't you do some cocaine or something? That's what they'd be like. That's what they'd be.
Do not recommend anyone to do any drugs of any sort at Blockchain Sensei.
Yeah. Even though it's the common norm in the United Kingdom, don't do it. Anyway, the other bit was I've also learned that I get a really good night's sleep if I read books before bed. Anyway, I'm gonna start skipping through this. So, life advice: I don't know what I'm doing, and neither do you. I think that is a great statement. Like I said, these are bits that he's put in are mad alpha, but you don't even realize. But if you're fortunate enough to do so, get married, have kids, move to the burbs. Eventually, we'll survive the winters and gain some valuable perspective when your days end with a 7-year-old laughing about one of his farts, a 5-year-old telling you a story via a 3-minute run-on sentence, and a half-naked 3-year-old tackling you at the knees during your final Zoom call of the day, and a newborn who starts to giggle. Now, if any of you have actually been around kids, and especially been around 3-year-olds, that statement right there resonates. 3-year-olds have this incredible ability to just not get to the point of their sentence. Like, they just have this magical ability to turn this tiny thing about I got some crisp into, yeah, and I went here, and then I did this, and then I found this, and then what I did is I looked here, and then when I looked here, it was like this, and so what I did is I took it, and then I took my hand, yeah. So it teaches you patience. And ultimately, this bit here, if you're reading this, you are hopefully a time billionaire. Now, the one thing we know here at Blockchain Sensei, grinding our asses off, is that the most important thing out of everything is time.
Yeah.
That's it. That's technically all what we're grinding for. Like, people think that they're grinding.
I literally reached the stage.
Go on.
I literally reached the stage in summer 2023 where I'm like, I hit like a financial money goal. This is like August 2023, but I'm like, damn, I feel like I've got more money than time. And like that's a weird space to be in. It's like, oh my God, like I got the money, but it's like we're so busy.
Yeah. It's a mad place. So you've got to really control that balance, is what I say. And then number one, it's always day one, and everything is in your control. So that's where I wanted to just start off, because I thought that was big alpha. So let's go to where we are in this report and the highlighted bits. As you can see, there is alpha in this one. So consumer crypto. Again, we'll just go to the highlighted bits. We'll take it in turn to read it, guys. Who wants to go? I'll go first on this one. So we found a way to harness the internet's power to distribute information at zero marginal cost by creating social media and search platforms. But we have no way of controlling AI generation just yet. We'll need NFTs and blockchains in order to track provenance. The opportunities ahead are mind-blowing and will be lucrative to those paying attention. Now, that again, I couldn't agree with more. Like, AI hasn't got started yet. And look at the
The,
impact.
the only way you can control AI is with more AI.
Yeah.
The only thing that can think as fast as it is itself. The only thing that is faster than the fastest AI is the next computer, the next iteration of the supercomputer that can beat the speed of it.
Yep. And whether you like it or not, blockchain plays a key role, as we will see. So then what we want to do is talking about DSOC, which is decentralized socialization, with platforms like Farcaster, Lens, and as we saw in one of our previous episodes, being able to message people via their Coinbase wallet. Type fire in chat if you remember that episode. Remembers that episode? Put some fire emojis in the chat if you remember where we taught you how to message people via your Coinbase wallet. So this one, Ninja, I think you might like. So if you want to read this highlight.
Yeah, sure. Are you talking about 3 control of algorithms?
No, this one I'll just highlight there from Duke.
Do I just lose 10 years of accumulated work and network building? DSOC solves this, issued in the medium and long term by hot swapping the back end of social media. This is already the norm in DSOC. 70% of Lens users interact with more than one app.
So what he's talking about here is the fact that with decentralized social media, let's say, for example, you get a new account, all your followers just come with you. Because the jarring thing that's happening with a lot of social media people, especially influencers or YouTubers, their whole life is that channel, or that whole life is their I know people, their whole career is their Instagram. If that goes,
Sensitive.
Finished. And it's the same with a lot of musicians. If they lose their YouTube and their Instagram, that's it. They're done. So this is where I think decentralized social media is more powerful than people realize, because for some businesses, the majority of them right now, their business is actually their social media. If they lost all their social media, they wouldn't know what to do. So yeah, that's that one. This one, Keish, do you want to take this one?
Sure. So the AI world with infinite content generation. Imagine paying for control over a custom for you, a feed that you control, deep focus mode, breaking news mode, happy hour mode, with happy, angry, or flirty tone filters.
So yeah, I think that's the future, is people being able to control their newsfeed a little bit more. Because at the moment, you just get fed what they want to feed you. And then the other bit was the ad sharing. So we've seen Twitter has started to do ad sharing. But when you actually realize how much money these platforms are actually making daily per user and what impact that would make to people, imagine half the people in the world being able to make $48 a day.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's definitely something that's coming into play. And I think you're right as well. Every user that has their own interaction, having their own unique experience based on their own data, is a huge space.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't know if anyone in the audience has used this thing called Friend Tech, but we might explore it one day. So Friend Tech is basically like, imagine what was that thing called, that speaking thing where people went in rooms? Clubhouse. So imagine Clubhouse had a baby with OnlyFans.
What? God damn.
So basically, you only can get in the room to have a conversation if you're paying. So you can't even get in. You don't know what the conversation is. You can't hear it, or you can't talk to the people on that platform unless you've got the NFT key to get in the room.
I like
Now,
that.
I think this is something it's just started now, but I think a lot of celebrities and a lot of people are going to take advantage of it. I think this is just early days for this. Like, this allows people to make information. I think, personally, this is what's going to happen to the education system. That's what's going to happen. It's going to become hyper elitist. And when you combine this with Apple Vision Pro, then you'll see where I'm going. You're going to have exclusive education experiences, exclusive experiences that if you can't afford it, you don't get it. So might happen with Blockchain Sensei one day, who knows? And they said to look at Frentech because the platform has generated 50 million in fees this year alone. Its daily revenue was 10x that of OpenSea's. And their chat retention rate is 67%, which is almost basically double that of Twitter's, which is crazy. It's got the highest retention rate at this moment in time, Frentech, more than Instagram, more than Facebook, more than TikTok, more than Snap. So if you're looking at doing any marketing anywhere, you probably want to think about Frentech. So NFTs, there's no theoretical limit to the number of diversity of NFT projects. If you want to do some research, screenshot this page and go and look at the project. They might be doing some airdrops because some of them on here have already done airdrops like Tensor, like Blur. So someone might need to go and check out Vendao, Arcade, MetaStreet, Paraspace, and Hook. So the March of the Penguins on Ordinal Theory. So this is more about secure. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? This here. Actually, Keish, this is more your area. You like this.
I was going to say, before you go over Bendao's huge. I know a few Bens in Bendao. It's absolutely huge community. That's what
Is it just a DAO full of Bens?
Yes. It's just a DAO full of Bens.
You know what? I'm doing it. Do you know for years I said I was going to release a brand just called Michael?
Yeah. I'm not
just
in
to worship all the great Michaels.
Like that. I don't know
Jackson,
about that.
Jordan, Tyson, Schumacher. Michael, I'm doing it. Whoever wants to help me set up Michael DAO, shout me.
Just go in Unstoppable Domains, they'll help you.
You do it.
That's it.
Do that and help me. Thank you very much.
Cool. The March of the Penguins and Ordinal Theory. Okay, cool. That certain interactions of NFTs and AI integration content, securing identity and IP in an AI age is $1 trillion market. Yeah, so this is basically understanding authentication, like the authentic users, no?
Yeah.
I think that's a huge thing in the crypto space as well, seeing as you don't know who is who. Having a decentralized way of authenticating individuals' identities without directly connecting it to wallets, having it privatized, maybe auditors can check it, stuff like that is very huge. Understanding what user base is actually real user base compared to what is bots, what is wash traded and rigged. Yes, I think that's a crazy big space. So yeah.
Next one is one that we can't ignore, which is Bitcoin ordinals, which go over 300x. Now, are ordinals going to disappear and are Bitcoin NFTs going to disappear? No, I think they're going to get used for more strategic logistic things just because it's the oldest and most trusted blockchain on a commercial level. It's not actually the oldest blockchain, but that's in the New York Times. But it's the most trusted one. So I think we're going to see maybe some identity plays on that also. Then the bit that I'm going to talk about is crypto and gaming. So the gaming industry is thriving. There are 3.44 billion gamers globally who contribute to the 184 billion in expected revenue from the gaming industry in 2023. A figure that is ripping higher year after year. Gen Z and Gen Alpha, who increasingly view digital and physical experiences as one of the same, devote considerable time to gaming, 15 hours a week, and spent 135 billion in 2022 on virtual gaming items alone. So let me just say that again. 135 billion of the 184 billion in revenue was spent on digital assets. So
it's an average of 15 hours a week on gaming.
Yep. So Ninja, you're good at the maths. What's 135? What percentage of 184 is that?
Say that again. 100 and what?
What percentage of 184 is 135?
Gaming.
Like
There are 3 million people who contribute to 184 billion in expected revenue. I'm trying to find the ratio. Guys, put him on the spot. A 3.4 billion
You don't
gaming.
have to answer it now.
135 to 184, that's about 73%.
73%.
There we go. She's quick
Wow.
with it.
There we go. So 73% is there in digital assets. So you know how bad people are trying to become footballers? There's kind of more money in digital assets. Just thought I'd let you know. Just saying. But yeah, don't sleep on this. Because I don't remember in an episode. Does anyone remember me saying that Disney were gonna have to acquire or invest in a gaming company? Does anyone remember me saying that they should look at EA? Does anyone remember me saying that?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You do. Oh, well, does anyone know what happened recently with Disney?
Yeah, you said about Disney, and I think, yeah, I think you were talking about the Disney, and you opened the, page of the Disney, and you were talking about something.
Yep. So for about a year, I've been saying that Disney are going to pivot into gaming. Just because they have to, because they're sitting on crazy IP. And recently, they actually have invested in Epic Games. I don't know if anyone's heard of Epic Games or heard of a game called
That's a crazy, bro. That's one hell of a crazy. The engine where the gaming runs. Epic Games have the gaming engines.
Yep, they also own Unreal. So
Unreal, bro. Unreal, Epic, and Krafton, bro. These three crazy are legendary gaming companies. They have a good market cap.
Yep. And as we can see, the brands are just getting started. They have tested. Last year was a test for them. The year before was a test for them to see if they could actually make money from selling products that don't even actually exist, from selling digital assets. And guess what they found out? Nike found out that they could make 1.4 billion on the secondary market of a digital asset. How much does it cost them to make a digital? Imagine those margins in comparison to selling actual physical trainers.
I think, bro, nothing. What would the digital asset cost? I don't think it would cost them much.
They can get it for less than 100K.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
And you know what
The design and the smart contract.
it's the design and the smart contracts. And one thing I'm going to talk about that I think everyone's missed that was in the Epic announcement with Disney, they are going to allow for user-generated content. So what happens if you stick Disney IP in Fortnite and allow people to create assets for you, and then you just make money off all the things that they make and sell?
Mouse is gonna do badness.
They are going to make disgusting, because even my mom might try and make one of these Disney assets if they do it right. Like, if you ask yourself, in your friend circle, if you pick 5 people, if somebody had the opportunity to just play around on that app and make their own unique Disney character for something and then sell it, how many people around you do you reckon would do it?
Like a Disney character, and then they're like do a competition, and then they use your character in a film or something.
They're going to do that. You know what's going to be happen? Even better than that. It's not even Disney that are going to make the films. They're going to allow people to make their own films with their assets.
And they're gonna take the IP and turn it into shows.
Yes.
That's just like a never-ending IP.
Well, I hope they're smart enough to run the play correctly and not mess up the bag.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm not too keen on
What
Bob.
what do you think? What do you think of Starbucks and they're playing NFT world?
I think Starbucks have just started getting warm. I think they're, especially now that we've got the Vision Pro, and obviously if you know, Apple are partly invested in Starbucks and Starbucks are partly invested in Apple. There is no way that we are not going to get exclusive Starbucks drinks that you could only get if you got the Vision Pro and an NFT. It's basically guaranteed. Who else is partly invested in Apple and Apple Vision Pro? Oh yeah, Nike are invested in Apple. Disney are invested in Apple. You're starting to see the trend here. Who else? LVMH are invested in Apple. So some of these companies like Tiffany. So you might be starting to see a bit of a trend here in terms of what can happen. But yeah, so co-creation UGX, I just spoke about that. So in terms of the projects you want to look at here in this space, Mud, Argus, Dojo, Brick, Realms, Keystone, Matchbox, Cornif, and Cartridge. These are all things that are in the space of autonomous world blockchain. So people being able to build things in gaming spaces and then sell them. So you might want to look at those. I think one of those projects we're going to hear about again.
Bro, let me take a screenshot of the project, bro. Please allow me to take a screenshot, bro.
There you go. Get it nice and big.
Thanks a lot, bro.
No worries. That's what we do. Okay, so the platforms like Store. While Solana is likely to pick up steam in 2024 after its recent rally, on the story selling time, co-creation through platforms like Story Protocol, Shibuya Story Call, and Storyverse aims to disrupt the mega creator platforms. So this image here sums up what I'm saying that is happening. What used to happen in Web 1 is you had corporate IP. So the big studios own the IP. Disney owned the IP of things like Marvel and Star Wars. Then what happened in Web 2 is social media. People started creating the IP. So you got your what's his name? The guy that gives away money? Mr. Beast and your Chunks and your Phillies and whatever. But now what you've got is you're going to have a merge of both of them. Co-created IP that is shared between social media, the big IP brands, and the people are going to co-create pieces of IP and content, which is just going to get insane, like absolutely insane. Then sports betting and gambling, and then the network state. Does anyone know what the network state is? Has anyone touched on this? Anyone heard of this before? It's actually a crazy concept. Okay, cool. Let me get a picture of it. So the network state basically suggests that world wars won't be able to happen anymore. And the reason they won't be able to happen anymore is because DAOs are going to take over the world. DAOs will eventually start having their own countries. Because let me show you. So is it showing my screen?
Yeah, bro.
You can see the map.
No, bro.
All right, cool. So let me just give you a concept that's already starting to play out. It's already starting to happen. So let's say, for example, if you're a developer, does anyone know any developers? Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Yep. So as a developer at this present moment in time, do you have to live in the country where the company that you're working for that is registered is operating in?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say, for example, I'm working on a blockchain that is registered in New York. Where in the world can I live to work and be a part owner of that blockchain company? Anywhere?
Anywhere.
Absolutely anywhere. Now, if that corporation, that blockchain company that you're working for, turned into a DAO, and because you was a developer, you part owned some equity in that DAO, and that DAO then bought a building, you living in another country without you even knowing, you're now a part owner of a building in a country that you've never been to. All right. So that would mean that your company is now part of the legal infrastructure of another country. So let's say, for example, I'm going to just speak it into existence because Blockchain Sensei are hella bullish on Indonesia. Let's say I'm living here, but Ninja goes to Indonesia and Blockchain Sensei creates a DAO. And with that DAO, Blockchain Sensei. So I'll explain what a DAO is. A DAO is basically a WhatsApp group where people, or a group of people, on the internet that part own things together through this chat. That's the easiest way of explaining it. So imagine there was a WhatsApp group.
DAO.
It's not fully what a DAO is.
Yeah, it's really not a DAO, but yeah.
It's the easiest way of explaining it. But everyone has voting rights within the DAO. So let's say, for example, it was a Telegram chat where everyone in the Blockchain Sensei Telegram chat got voting rights, and they got to vote whilst ninjas in Indonesia, which piece of Indonesia we're going to buy land in. And everyone contributes money to the DAO by buying tokens of the DAO. And the more tokens you have of the DAO, the more voting rights that you have. Yeah? Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Yep. So let's say Ninja now buys this land in Indonesia. That would now mean that Blockchain Sensei and all the DAO members would now be landowners in Indonesia.
Yep.
Regardless of where they are in the world. Now, what then happens if someone carves out enough land and makes enough money from their DAO? So in this scenario here that he's put, if a DAO got to a size of 1.7 million, it would have more, which is currently the amount of people active on blockchain, and the annual income for that DAO was 157 billion, and the land that they acquired was 136 million square meters. They would then have a higher population than Tokyo, and they would actually be generating more money than Tokyo, and they would actually own more land than Tokyo. So if that happens, it's pretty difficult to still have war if people have their interests are spread around the globe, because war's about control and power, right? And mainly about controlling land over resources. But if everybody owns resources all over the world through DAOs, it gets very difficult. Either everyone's going crazy and everyone's going to war with everybody, or it becomes very difficult to go to war because you're like, oh damn, I can't go to war there because.
But doesn't this depend on the government system? So the government may have to change the way that they operate to actually control this, because I mean, they could literally say only if you're X amount or this type of company you can buy land in our country, only if you're a resident for X amount of years, all of this stuff. And if you're involved in a company that is a DAO structure, they may have some difficulty there. So,
Yep. However, I do believe, just like there is always, there's going to be one country that goes, come on, buy our land.
yeah, of course, yeah, different regions, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
People that have the assets.
Just remember that the government can take your land at any time if they need it for war.
Yeah, it's not your land.
or
Yeah,
anything. It's not
Yeah.
yours. They'll just take it back off you.
Yep.
Your deed, your piece of paper says I'm borrowing it off you while I'm alive.
Oh, it's an interesting one. It's a very interesting one. And next, on to even more interesting stuff, is new wallets. So as we saw, blockchain.com become an $8 billion business. Consensus became a $7 billion business from creating MetaMask. Well done, JP Morgan there. PayPal acquired Curve for nearly 200 million. And now there is currently a new wallet platform called Safe, which has raised 100 million. And manages 35 billion in on-chain treasuries. Has anybody here used or heard of Safe? Because I haven't. I'm just going to give 1 minute in the chat for anybody to chat. Type in Safe if you've used Safe. I'm going to wait. There's going to be anyone. And I would say our community is pretty, in the space. They've got 35 billion, and I don't think anyone's ever heard of it. So I think it's something that we should probably look into as a community. Just saying. So
yeah, they're looking quite interoperable from what I've seen so far.
I think we might need to do a future episode on Safe.
Oh yeah, it's looking like it. Yeah.
So then is the idea of MPC wallets. So what are these? It's basically reducing the risk of your wallet where the private keys aren't in your wallet. So you're basically allowing someone, a third party, to look after it. So the need for users to maintain the entire burden of their own private key management. This is my favorite wallet today, and I find there is an acceptable security trade-off when it comes to managing my true wallet, funds, play money, and payments. Now, I know a lot of people are like, my wallet, my wallet, my wallet. I've got to look after my wallet. But there is no way a Bitcoin ETF would exist if people actually cared about wallets. Because when you buy the Bitcoin spot ETF, it's not going into your wallet.
No, but the people that care about wallets don't buy Bitcoin spot ETFs.
Exactly. But there's more people. Look, what we got to understand is there's more people and more power and more marketing play to selling spot Bitcoin ETFs. And now legally, you're allowed to sell Bitcoin spot ETFs on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, but you're not allowed to promote crypto. What are the chances of that, eh? What are the chances of that happens, eh? Well, that is exactly what's happened. So yeah. So wallet-centric feature, smart contract accounts. There's what was this? Yeah, I just highlighted this. Keish, this is about your favorite company. You might want to read this.
Oh, I don't have any favorite companies anymore. I hate them all. I'm joking. There's even one effort, EIP. Oh, this stuff. To support the signature scheme used by Apple that powers the biometric ID system. You might soon be able to use Face ID to confirm a Uniswap transaction. We spoke about this already. We said this how many years ago?
Now, what recent device has come out where you might need to verify transactions on chain with your face or your eyes?
Guess what? That new stuff that Apple came out with, right?
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah,
I
they
wonder
went from scanning your face to now you can scan your retina, right?
who would have guessed that? Who would have guessed? That's crazy. That.
Scan your retina.
It's mad. So with these new types of wallets, you can initiate user operations. And then these user operations then go to service providers called paymasters, who can pay the gas and costs for users. So basically, the gas payments and the costs get bundled up, and then the users pay it. This is kind of good for Ethereum, but is completely irrelevant if you just use
I'm not
Solana.
gonna lie, I really hate Ethereum, man.
Like, it's just dead. Like, why do I need someone else to pay my gas fees if you can just have lower gas fees?
What's it, guys? I was on Uniswap trying to do this swap here. I have to talk about this because it was such a pain in the ass, right? I done a trade, I didn't use a lot of money, yeah, and I made about 35-40% on this trade, right? When trying to swap it out, on my Uniswap, it said the gas fees were $16, right? I confirmed it, I signed the signature, paid whatever, $3, $4, whatever it was. When I signed the signature and I went to go through the transaction on Ethereum, it then said, "Oh no, it's now $26." And then I go back, refresh, it says it's $22. I go back on it and I try again. It's now $29 or $31. I'm just like, bro, refresh, try again. I let it chill for half an hour, came back. This shit was like $40
What the?
to transact like 140,
Oh, you know how everyone
$130 or
was
something like that.
you know, like how this whole thing is meant to take down like people having to pay to take out their own money from cash machines.
Bro, it don't
There's
make
no
no
cash
damn
machine that
sense.
charges you $40 to take your own money out.
No.
Go on. This is what we love. We love this. Go on.
From the YouTube. Okay, cool. YouTube can hear me now. Listen,
Yeah.
there is a price to pay for security. Okay, and on-chain data shows that Ethereum is being absolutely used. Billions and billions and billions of dollars for the past half a decade plus now are being transacted on Ethereum. The whales will pay.
Yeah.
The whales will pay.
Yeah.
And Ethereum is not for the people. Ethereum is
Yeah.
for the whales, which is why it is not going anywhere. And but even as a arguably, I don't know if I'm a seasoned veteran, but I think 8 years in the game is a good amount of time. I put too much of my damn net worth on Solana. By having my net worth, too much of my net worth on Solana, I meant like USDC stable coins bridged onto the Solana network, right? Because let me just get something straight. There is one thing to be invested in a blockchain, which means that usually that retail means I bought coins on a centralized exchange. And there is being invested on a blockchain, and that means you've bridged multiple assets. Like I've got Ethereum, some of my ETH is on Solana, some of my Bitcoin's on Solana, some of my Polygon Matic is on Solana. I'm literally accumulating crypto that I'd normally own on the native blockchain on Solana. And too much of my net worth was on Solana. And when Solana went down, I was absolutely sweating my bollocks off. And I was praying to God, God, give me a $500 gas fee and I'll pay it right now to get that USDC back on Ethereum, to get my ETH back on Ethereum, to get my Bitcoin obviously back on the native network. So there is a price to pay, and this is why ETH's not going to go there.
I think there's another lesson there.
Yeah,
I think there's another lesson
I
there.
agree with you. I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, what I have been saying is that it's not for the average user that's doing smaller transactions. That's literally what my point was.
I think there's also a hidden lesson in your story there that should go out to everybody, which is risk management.
Yeah,
that's it. Period. It's what we teach. It's one of the first things that people should focus on is risk management. I would say, just like with trading, just like with anything, wherever your money is, whatever platform it's on, there needs to be a part of you that is willing to accept that is gone. If you've got it on free trade, if you got it on Revolut, you got it on MetaMask, you got it on Solana, you got it on Ethereum, you got it on Binance, you got it on Ripple, you need to partly accept that money is gone because of Murphy's Law. Anything that can happen will. So as long as you are braced and prepared for mentally, okay, I've got this amount of money here on this platform, but there is a possibility. It's not a strong possibility. It's not like a 90% possibility. There is this just like a 1 or 2% possibility that chain might disappear tomorrow. That chain might get a case from Gary Gensler. That chain might all of a sudden Trump might decide to pump it, but then at the same time he pumps it, you put it into your wallet, and then it becomes a wanted asset by the CIA. Like that. So you just gotta just be prepared for all possible scenarios. So that's what I would say, guys. Diversify and make sure that your risk management doesn't just include one wallet, like we say. Blockchain Sensei, we teach. Have some on a ledger, have some on MetaMask, have some on different chains, have some in centralized exchanges, have some in all possible places, because then that way it reduces your risk of losing everything. And then that also includes the different asset classes that you're invested in. That's one of the first lessons we teach in Blockchain Sensei, is we teach invest in stocks first, then invest in crypto. Why? Because it's very much, very, very, very likely. We have to bear in mind, there is multiple asset managers that can just buy or destroy the entire crypto market just for bants. There is a company called Microsoft that is now worth 3.2 trillion that itself could just destroy the entire crypto market. Google, 2.2 trillion. Apple, 2.2 trillion. These man, for bants, this isn't even including the BlackRocks and the Vanguards, could just wipe the entire thing if they wanted to. If they wanted to, especially being as they control social media and we live in an attention economy, if they wanted to, they could just murk every chain going. So this is why we always say, guys, stocks and crypto, NFTs and commodities, and a little bit of real estate if you can. So that's our little piece on this. But in the meantime, let's talk about account abstraction. Yeah, and keep some cash as well. And again,
yeah, you guys, man, you guys are forgetting about that beautiful. What about the beautiful silver, man? You can't go wrong with a bit of silver.
it's silver, bit yeah, 100. So account abstraction
Bit of
ecosystem.
radium.
One of the things you may have heard is about these things called airdrops. Now, a lot of the time, these airdrops come from wallets. Now, some of these wallets have already done airdrops, but if you've got the time, I would probably just, download or go on these websites, create new wallets, and just interact with them. Just a little part-time hobby throughout the course of the year. Something might happen. So, yeah. So that's that one. I'm moving off that if everyone's okay with that. So then one of my favorite bits that was on here, Ninja, I'll let you read this one because I know this one will piss you off, so I think it's quite funny.
Myself.
It's just the highlighted one.
Circle entered the fray with its programmable wallets. Released. Oh my God! Look, that's a typo. Circle entered the fray with its programmable. Actually, no. I suppose it's okay. Yeah, no, it still works. Release. It sounds like it should be released in August. And Fireblocks announced a similar MPC-based WAS solution in September, which will power wallets for Indian e-commerce giant Flipkart. To be honest, I'm
But
not sure.
the most important bit is this circle bit.
Yeah, programmable wallets doesn't sound very decentralized.
Nope. Nope. Sounds a bit mad.
Guys,
Yeah.
do you know about the Flipkart?
Yeah. We've got a project that was working with that released NFTs.
Yeah.
Flipkart. It's called Jump.trade. So we know all about Flipkart. But yeah, here's some additional wallets for you to look at and go and do your work and get involved with, because there might be some redeemables there. So that's that. So the other one that we spoke about on the Blockchain Sensei, we spoke about it before, is the whole ledger crisis. And again, this is just one of my favorite things to talk about. Everybody talks about security on blockchain, right? Everyone's like, yeah, security, I'm in blockchain for security. Well, they've got an iPhone. Apple, if they want, can just see every keystroke you've ever done. So Apple, if they wanted to, could just drain your wallet. If someone steals your iPhone and they're the right hacker, they could just drain all your wallets. So it's not that secure, just simply because of one thing that Apple allows people to do, which is the secure enclave, which nobody talks about. Nobody talks about the fact that Apple are storing microdata of every keystroke you've ever done on your phone. Even when you delete things, Apple store a small part of it.
Yeah, there's this diagnostics in it, which has this, which stores the cache memory, a slight cache memory in it. In Apple, yeah.
Nothing can ever really be truly deleted.
Mm-hmm.
That's why your hardware dies out and gets slower. Nothing ever is truly deleted.
So yeah, that's that one. But onto my fun bit. Now, let's just go way back in time. All right, Ninja, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you go on our Blockchain Sensei YouTube and
Yeah.
search when we did an episode on either Filecoin, SIA, or R-Wave?
Okay, 1 second.
Because I think it's safe to say we spoke about these almost 2 years ago, I believe.
I think longer than that. I think it was more than 2 years.
We have a 2-hour video just on Arweave with an expert, courtesy of St. Jerome. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we covered it before that as well.
And Filecoin.
Yeah, Filecoin as well. We covered it all. Render.
Yeah, we've covered all this.
Yeah, we covered it ages ago.
So can you just put them in the chat if you find any links to them, please, just for the group. So why? Because for me, explaining somebody what blockchain is the easiest to do through Filecoin, SIA, and Arweave and Storage. Mainly SIA, because basically what it does is it offers you file storage for £1.75, or you can. I think it was £5 a month. Let's just go and see. Let's just go onto the SIA website. So at the moment, people use Google Cloud or Dropbox,
Or Apple iCloud.
or Apple iCloud, or Amazon, as we saw, for I think it's £23 a month. And we
No, depends what it is.
Yep, it's £23 a month on Amazon.
That's so stupid.
Whereas SIA, for 1 terabyte of storage, is $2. Why is it $2? Because it uses the blockchain and people's spare storage on their laptops, phones, and devices to store your data on blockchain. I can't think. I've yet to see a better way of explaining blockchain than SIA and Arweave and whatever. Now, the even better about Arweave is they say that anything stored on Arweave lasts for 500 years, which is bonkers.
Oh wait, so
Yeah.
file you can always like
Retrieve it.
retrieve it.
Yeah, you got 500 years to
Yeah,
retrieve
but
it.
then it's like seed, right? It's like the seed kind of spread.
Yeah.
Thing, right?
So there you go. Do your own research on these. Once people actually realize about these, will it affect price? Possibly. And then decentralized databases. So first of all, you have the smart contract layer, then you have the file storage, then you have the databases. So again, I've highlighted it for you. Go and do your own research into Tableland, ComposeDB, Kiwi, Polybase, Glacier, etc., etc. And then decentralized wireless networks. Keish, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, man, like Helium. Shout out to my brother Helium. Helium Network introduced a $20 a month phone plan this summer alongside T-Mobile, which offered unlimited text, talk, and data to new customers without the constraints of wireless customer contract.
Yep. So this is the future, I believe. I believe people are going to get used to like decentralized phone networks, because that's
Yeah.
what Twitter are doing as well. So look out for it. But the biggest one, this is probably the biggest alpha of the entire episode. So get your pens out, guys. What I'm about to say here. So this is where AI and blockchain fuse together. And that is through decentralized GPU, which is things like Render. This is through things like Bitensor and Jensen. They are revolutionizing the way AI researchers work together by incentivizing the creation and sharing of machine intelligence. Let me repeat that sentence again. Incentivizing the creation and sharing of machine intelligence. So, how does AI work at this present moment in time? The most popular AI is a LLM, a large language model, which basically the way that you train AI is to feed it loads of data. But a lot of the time, that data comes from one place. What if you could use the blockchain so that the data came from multiple places? Quite similar to what we saw with the network state. You had people uploading data to feed one AI from around the world, and everyone that fed that AI owned that AI. Would that be better than just Microsoft and Mr. Altman owning it all himself?
Yeah, because it seems to me everyone's so comfortable with Microsoft owning everything that they do. It's just like, bro, every project I talk to, just like, yeah, I'm building using OpenAI, or I'm building using ChatGPT. I'm just like, bro, like, you're literally just giving IP away.
Yep.
And you're happy about it. And you're like, these guys are the best. They have traction.
Yep.
Like,
So
what?
basically think of this type of blockchain as the YouTube for AI, where people will be able to build custom models of AI because the data will be unique and custom. So you'll be able to go, I want car data sourced from Gibraltar and bloody Jamaica, Spanish Town, and it will be able to give you that because there'll be a decentralized data on it. So these are the platforms that will be key to this. We have Filecoin, Arweave, C, and storage, because the data's got to get stored somewhere. Then you have the data processing. This would be a cache network and Filecoin. And then you'd have the blockchains that do model training, which would be things like Jensen and Together. And then you would have the deployment and fine-tuning, which is Golem, Flux, iExec, Akash, Kudos, and Exhibits. So I'm going to zoom in on this. And if anybody's ever telling you, oh no, AI and blockchain can't work together, well, you've just heard. Unless we want Microsoft to own all AI and to be in charge of all suggestions that AI ever suggests, because remember, it's them training the model, so they choose the data that it learns from, rather than having an actual, truthfully democratic, decentralized AI that's learning about data from everywhere all at the same time, rather than them.
But bro, this is I kind of feel like this is a. I mean, it would take some good time to happen. All this, like the decentralized AI thing, and everything we talked about, the data coming from decentralized branches, blockchain. It would take a good amount of time to get this happen.
This is why we read the Messari paper, because you're a good amount of time ahead of everyone.
Right.
If you're reading this paper, you're 5 to 10 years ahead of everybody else.
5 to 10 years. Yeah.
So people won't be talking about this until 2030. If we're lucky, 2026. So yeah, obviously AI is needed because there's a GPU shortage. So decentralized cloud and decentralized GPU networks and decentralized file storage, and obviously deepfakes. So we need to attach IDs to AI whether we like it or not. Intelligent smart contracts, so AI that executes smart contracts itself, which is very interesting. And then finally, the last bit was about DAOs. See, he says DAOs are basically group chats with bank accounts.
Oh, okay, that is literally what you said.
See? So, yeah, what he says is we're going to see two types of DAOs: true decentralized autonomous organizations, which are run by AI and actually run themselves, with terrifying possibilities where they can buy and sell and acquire land, assets, corporations by themselves, which would be
basically like an investment circle.
Would be very interesting. And then the other one is delegated authority organizations where humans will run them. And they're lightning fast and cheap, and there's unlimited potential for creative and corporate actions, and of DAOs doing hostile takeovers of corporations. And the future is DAO merger and acquisition battles. So you've heard it here first. Look out for the DAOs getting into mergers and acquisitions. So yeah, great episode. Anybody got any questions?
Yes, bro. Like, I mean, when you take it, like you are in UK right now.
Yep.
So, like when you go in for a trade, and then I mean, you take the profits. Does the government charge anything from the profits?
Yep.
How much, bro? There?
Up to 40%.
40%. So, I mean, but like in India here, we also, I mean, the government charges 30%, right? So, how can I dodge from that? Like,
we can't
I'm gonna give you something that my number one mentor told me.
Yeah.
My closest mentor that I've had since I was 19 in university. This guy probably worth 800, 900 million.
Okay.
He said to me, I remember I sat down with him one day when I was lucky enough and he was in London. And I said to him, oh yeah, I got all this tax to pay. Da, 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 da. He said, how do I avoid it? And he said, well, you're just not ready to be rich then?
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah. He said, if you're not ready and willing, if you're not willing to pay your tax, then you're just not ready to be rich. It means that you're not making enough and that you still have a working class mindset. I'm just repeating his words. He said, look, if you're not willing to pay the tax, it means that you got a working class mindset and you're still living in a mode of scarcity. If you're living in a mode of abundance, what's paying 40% of tax?
40% is a bro. I mean, it is a good amount of tax to be paid on profits that if you earn. I mean, for example, if you earn thousand bucks, for example, you earn $1,000 and then you pay $400 to the government, and then you're left with 600, right?
Mhm.
You learn, you educate yourself over the years, not just to pay for 400, just to pay 40%. I mean, just so that you would pay 40% of your income to the profits to the government.
I think tax hurts you. This is what, again, I'm going to repeat what my mentor said to me. Tax hurts you only because you're not making enough. If you're making enough, it's not tax that hurts you, it's inflation.
Yeah, I think I agree with what you're saying there, Mike. But there's ways around it if you have enough capital. If your
Yeah.
taxes are gonna be like over 100K a year, then there should be ways to structure that, in my opinion. But not for tax avoidance, for capital preservation for the long run. And like Mike said, beating inflation. So yeah, it gets to a point. In my opinion, I think it's when you're spending around about 100K a year plus in taxes, when it is worth actually seeking out structures that can actually help you secure and your wealth and then beat inflation essentially. But I don't think that should be a worry unless you're until you're at a point or a stage that is anywhere near that.
Yeah. You're not about. Here's what I'd say to our students. Anyone that's our students,
Sorry?
you're not anyone that's one of our students, what I would say
No.
is 40%, 45% of any profit that you've made, have it in cash. Because if you're not willing to pay that 45%, yo, are you really willing to risk going to jail over 40% and get a criminal record and then get banned from all the servers?
Yeah,
It's not worth it.
it's totally not worth that, bro.
It's just a fight that you can't actually win. Like you can't unless you can do that tax game when you have more money and you can win. But until you are at them levels where you've got in the hundreds of millions, you're still not a whale, so you can't start thinking about tax avoidance and tax offshores and all this stuff. You're just not there yet. It's part of the ticket that you've got to pay to get up the levels. And in fact, one of the things that I've seen wealthy people brag about is how much tax they pay.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that they like talking about. Go, oh yeah, I paid 12 million in tax last year. I did.
Yeah. Rich people, very wealthy people like to brag about how they spend their money, like how well they spend it or how they spend it. 100%.
Yep. They will reduce the tax that they pay, but they'll still pay it. They'll be like, oh yeah, you know what? I was meant to pay 28 million in tax last year, but I only paid 12. They're proud of it. So that's the angle is it's an uncomfortable one, but unfortunately, them man don't play. They want their piece. So yeah, let's go to anyone got another question?
Just quickly regarding the phones, or going back to phones when you were talking about it, I assume with security wise, is it the same on like Android and Samsung or not?
Unless you've got activated Samsung Knox, no. Samsung Knox is what's used by the CIA.
I would say that there's more malleability on Android because you can actually change the file, like the source code and files of your device, to a certain extent, without it being track and traceable, depending on what phone you have. But on Apple, you can't do any of that. So I think there's more malleability with Android in that sense.
And again, I'd say when to get to those levels, I'd say you need to be playing around in the millions.
Yeah, and also I wouldn't say you need millions to have security. You need like there's certain devices that like for 30-40K for like a phone, but like you don't need that. I wouldn't say you need that because there's no point. There's so much devices out there that are tracking and tracing us anyway, and everyone else has one. What's the point?
And I think
it's
at that level,
basically an endless battle.
Yeah. There's no point you trying to hide when your friend's phone next to you is recording you. What's the point in you having a phone that's not recording you when everyone else's phone is recording you?
yeah,
And their
there's
camera's always on.
can't
What's the
escape.
point?
And then once everyone's wearing the Apple Vision Pro, you just won't be able to escape. It's over.
And then they're walking around with their flipping visions, yeah.
I've
recording everything.
got a question from one of our in-person live game members who also
Let's
came
go.
to technically speaking, Mr. Phoenix Jones.
Oh shit, you know what I'm saying?
Jeez,
Going, brother.
oh, did my guy have the notepad? Jeez,
Hey, come on!
Yeah, bro, you know what I'm
Not
saying?
playing
come on.
games.
Yo,
Yeah.
crypto boss is coming for
Phoenix
you.
is also- Sorry?
I said to crypto boss, he's coming for him.
Yeah, man. So Phoenix is a super dope Manchester artist. He will be performing at Shuriken Sounds' first event in Manchester at Metaphysical on Wednesday the 21st. Yeah, man. Ask a question to to Mr. Harding.
So, Michael, I was just gonna ask real quick: are there any I was just gonna think like maybe 5 altcoins that like you've like learned about recently that are maybe like piquing your interest a little bit, just to see what I might need to be keeping my eye on.
Yeah, 5 altcoins.
I'm not going to give you 5 altcoins. I'm going to give you 5 alt sectors.
Okay.
Some of them I've already mentioned on the show. If you really, really want to be about this life, you would take the Messari report and every token that they mention, you would then research.
He's
That's
getting
one.
the report, don't worry.
The other play, Deepin, RWA.
So that's D.
Bro, can you write those in the captions, bro?
Yep.
Sorry, in the text.
Yep. Hold on. So you want Deepin, RWA. This is what the whales and all the investors we're talking to are interested in.
Yeah.
Blockchain.
So, guys,
Info.
DeFi is decentralized physical infrastructure, and RWA is real world assets.
Blockchain. Insurance. And finally, blockchain advertising. That is crazy alpha, what I've just given you there. Insane alpha. I'm not going to give you the tokens, but me just even saying those industries. Is...
What? Blockchain insurance and then blockchain
advertising.
Advertising. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And then
Sure.
I add something to that?
Yeah.
So for the guys that haven't been here before, as Michael Keish and Ninja will know, if you use Claude.ai, just upload this Messari report is too big for Claude.ai, but if you break it down into 3 sections like I did, ask it to give you every token that it's done, and it gives you a full list.
Boy! Go on! Go on, give me that
Game.
Type game in chat for Alex right now. Everybody, stop what you're doing. Type game.
No, game.
Right now. That was game right there. You see that? That is what we do in this community. That is levels. That was mad.
Time is money, people. Time is money.
Let me just put that back in this game. Game. Mad. Alex,
for those that don't know who Alex Codlin is, he has another alias, which is the Financial Navigator. And he's actually been... You know what? I wanted this guy to post his face for a while. And he started doing it. His face is out there now. So if anybody doesn't know who Alex is, this is Alex. And we appreciate you, man. He's the one at the top. He's the one. Come on, he posts himself. He's got a video with us. He's pretty dogs. He's pretty dogs. Show him love, man. I'll show him some man. Oh,
Everybody then. There was no new people today, I don't think.
Love and blessings. Love and blessings.
Cool. Right, that's a wrap. Thank you very much, peeps. God bless. Josh,
don't
I'll see you.
at 10 p.m. I'll see subscribers there.
Thanks a lot.
Josh, I'll see you in half an hour.
See you soon, bro.
Bro.
Bye.
See you soon, bro.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty.